Okay, what's going on, LBHT crew B? What is going on?
Baker's been set free, so that's a good news for everybody, right?
He's free, like a bird.
That's right.
Yes, it is
never
Wednesday.
return.
Yes, it's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope your week is going well, but if not, hopefully it gets better starting right now. I see everybody ready in the chat. Our guy D Weezy's in the house from Backyard Action Media says we in here. Hashtag LBHT crew. Yes,
What's up,
indeed. We got our guy Hendo from Ravens Online Ungatekeeper says LBHT. Let's get it. Yes, yes. Tracy's in the house. What's going on? Says greetings, Jose and Brodny. Greetings,
What's up, Tracy?
Tracy. Thanks for coming through. Andre Mears. Our guy Andre Mears is here. Says, what's up, LBHT? Thanks for coming through, my friend. Yes, MDT Sports is in the house. Says John needs to get fired. What's up, LBHT crew? I agree.
This is like a Ravens greeting at this point.
Yeah.
John needs to get fired.
Fire Harbaugh, yo, EDC got to go, all that stuff. What's going on, Alfonso? Shaheen is in the house. What's going on, Shaheen? Says, what's up, fellas? DDSQ QE says, what's up, fellas? Hey, what's up with you? Appreciate you coming through. What is that? DDSQE. I'm curious.
It's a Q. It's a fret, a southern. Oh no.
DDS. So is it DDSQ? Am I saying it wrong? I've been saying QUE. Is it DDSQ?
Yeah, Q.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'd never joined a frat, so DDSQ. That's yeah, Q. I know. Okay, Marco G. What's good? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. What's going on, Marco G? Yes, he says eating chicken tenders and watching LBHT, living the dream. He is living the dream. Yes, One Sessions. What's going on? Says, what's good, LBHT fam? Ryan C's in the house. Said, what's good, everyone? What's up, Ryan C? Brandon E's in the house. Says, respect. Looking for some real commentary because only Mike Greenberg and crew speak facts.
Wow.
Hey, Mike Greenberg seen enough. Did you see that clip going around? He was he was just like, look, I'd be sick if I were Lamar too.
Well, listen, Emmanuel Asha had a response.
Yeah, of course.
Such as it was.
Okay.
There's a dentist and an Omega.
Oh, nice. Respect. That's what I'm talking about. Salute to you, my friend. Andrew, what's going on, Andrew? It's our friend Andrew. What's up, my friend? He says, what's up, fellas? I'm so tired of Ravens, Harbaugh, and crappy coaching staff. Probably EDC too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I am just tired. Hope everyone is all well and good. God bless y'all. God bless you, Andrew. Thank you for coming through. Appreciate Willie Seabon's in the house. What's good, fellas? I hope Lamar goes somewhere else and torch the Ravens whenever he plays us. Wow. I know that sounds terrible as a Ravens fan. It doesn't sound terrible. It's just this is reality that we're living in now. I respect that. Okay. Shout out to AGE. What's up, AGE? Thanks for coming through. Agent? Evil Lamar's in the house. Yes. Jake P's in the house. Our cousin Davon's in the house. What's good, man? Appreciate you coming through. Thank you, everybody. All right. Look, yes, a lot to talk about. Okay. We could be having a mid-season coaching change or in-season coaching change. All right. We've heard the rumors about Greg Roman. You saw the thumbnail. Lamar's leaving. Bye-bye, Greg. Bye-bye, Greg. Right? There's already rumors that the Ravens are looking for his replacement. Now, the guy they're talking to, we got to talk about him. Yes, Baker Mayfield is out in Carolina, in at LA. Is that maybe a rebirth of some sorts for Baker? Another chance. Okay, we'll discuss that. We got some games coming up. It's Steelers week. It's Seahawks week for the Panthers. Actually, big games for both teams. Okay, because I didn't realize this until the Monday night game with Tampa. Was it Tampa they played? Yeah, Tampa. I didn't realize this, but man, Panthers, they're like one game out.
Yeah. I mean, you got to get them L's, man. It's time to get to work.
We have a lot to talk about today.
They are flirting with that division championship, and I do not like it.
We have a lot to discuss tonight. All right, so we're gonna get to it. But first, we like to start every show with a Black History fact, and B has a Black History fact for you.
Yeah, this is going to be more of a Black History recommendation. I don't know how many of you all were paying attention yesterday, but Herschel Walker and Warnock had their runoff election. The results came out, and Warnock won. It was I mean, it's the right result because Herschel Walker is Herschel Walker, but it was very, very close, right? It was too close to call back during the actual election, and yesterday I believe it was just a bit over 50% for Warnock, and you kind of wonder why things like that can happen. Why a candidate in Herschel Walker who can't really put together a coherent sentence can run in a dead heat with someone else, right? And part of that is because the way it is in this country, we have two parties, and a good percentage of both parties are going to just kind of vote for their party's candidate, no matter who it is, no matter what their views are, no matter how dumb they may be.
Sound familiar?
That's a little.
That's familiar as fans.
But the other part is voter suppression, right? And the Republican parties work very, very hard to make sure that minorities have an extremely difficult time voting. It's kind of backfired in some cases, but that's kind of been their thing. And I bring that up because what I'm recommending tonight is a documentary that's out in theaters now called Lowndes County and the Road to Black Power. And it's about the history of Lowndes County in Alabama during the civil rights movement it started in 1961, so very, very early on. This is a county in Alabama where 80% of the people are Black and 0 were registered to vote. And it's because of the very violent history of the white supremacists in Lowndes County, and a lot of the Black people were just afraid, even after the Voting Rights Act, were just afraid to go out and actually register and go vote. So some activists would come to Lowndes County, and some of the people in Lowndes County already, they decided they were going to try to push back. They created the Lowndes County Freedom Organization, which is why you see the Black Panthers on the poster there. Their symbol was the Black Panther, and that's actually what inspired the Black Panther Party to use that symbol. So yeah, it's a documentary that's out now. It's about the struggles there and all the work that a lot of different activists and the people in Lowndes County put in at the beginning of that civil rights movement and kind of pushing voting rights forward for Black people. So it's in theaters now. I don't know I don't think it's playing everywhere. Obviously, documentaries don't really get wide release, but it's something to keep an eye out for, when it comes to streaming platforms as well.
Nice. Respect. And shout out to Coach Evans from Sip to Tally Film, says it's a Lowndes County in Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. Dang. Yeah. Shout out to Kimberly. We gotta give a shout out to Kimberly. Says, how's everybody doing tonight? We're doing great. How are you doing, Kimberly? Thanks for coming through. Yes. Look, man. Shout out to C Dubster. I see C Dubster. It says, what's up, fellas? Just here to get a real perspective on this Ravens team. Yes, indeed. Appreciate you. Hey, somebody said now that the election is over, Herschel Walker is going to start getting the hard ER again. Who said that? That is so mean. That is so wrong.
I saw one of our favorites on Twitter, 4Verts. Somebody asked him what's going through Herschel Walker's mind today, and he just posted a gif of a character running around in circles. But this isn't the Herschel Walker hate hour. All right, let's see him moving along here.
And shout out to our nephew Sadiq. Says definitely will check that documentary out. Thanks for coming through, Sadiq. Appreciate you coming through. Yes. All right. Look, our guy, Mr. OTR Mike, brings it up. Says, "What up, fellas? Anybody seen Willie Taggart?" All right, let's start there. Willie Taggart. All right. Yes. So, you guys have heard the rumors of Greg Roman being offered being offered the head coaching job at Stanford. It's looking like he's taking it. He confirmed and Harbaugh confirmed that there was interest from Stanford in Greg Roman. They didn't deny it. But now reports are that the Ravens are interviewing, right? They didn't say what for, but they're interviewing former head coach of Oregon, Florida State,
Florida Atlantic and
Florida Atlantic. Yeah,
South Florida, and I believe Western Kentucky as well.
yeah. Willie Taggart. Okay. And we'll discuss what that means in a minute. But look, we were wondering how much longer was Greg Roman going to last, because it seemed like he wasn't going to finish out the season, right? I didn't think it was going to be he got fired type of thing either. It would be more of a they just transition on from him, because look, this is a time where coaches got to start recruiting, right? You just saw Coach Prime accept the job at Colorado, and he already hit the transfer portal hard, right? He told the players that they're already, hey, transfer portal open, go ahead and hit it. Okay. He making some moves already. So I had wondered, like, man, is Greg Roman going to hang around this whole season? And it looks like he already checked out, right? I mean, judging by last game, looks like he was already making phone calls and everything like that, right? And the Ravens are, look, Willie Taggart, he actually interviewed with Coach Prime, right? And reports are that he was offered the job as offensive coordinator in Colorado. He turned that down. So,
well, I don't think he actually turned it down so much as he just didn't accept it at that point.
Gotcha.
I think he still, has a standing offer there, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about Willie Taggart. Shout out to Engraven for doing the video on this earlier. Shout out to our guy, Coach Evans. Make sure you are subscribed to Sip2 Tally Films. I keep meaning to bring the graphic for him, but Sip2 Tally Films, this guy right here, Coach Evans. Okay. We do a weekly show on his channel, the Ravens Roundtable, every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And I see that donation from Noah. Shout out to you, Noah. Give us 1 second. But Coach Evans did a video on Willie Taggart, really breaking down just his journey as a head coach. I was gonna say some highs. There weren't too many highs. There's some lows. But look, we're gonna discuss that in a second. But let me read this comment from Noah. Shout out to you, Noah, for a $10 donation. It says, "Good afternoon, crew. Hope everyone's having a good week. And if it isn't, hopefully it turns around for you. Just dropped a big chunk of change on the fam for Christmas. Yikes. As always, everyone smash the like and subscribe button. Hashtag LBHT crew for life." Appreciate you, Noah. Thank you so much, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Yes. And shout out to Adult Swim 88. Subscribe to the channel the other day. Okay. I see this notification here. I just wanted to bring that up. All right. Thank you. And Jahi subscribed a few days ago as well. So thank you. Salute to you both for subscribing.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, Willie Taggart. So listen, not a lot of good things that are said about Willie Taggart. We have seen Willie Taggart pretty closely when he was a head coach at Oregon, because our dad is an Oregon fan.
Our dad refers to him as the worst college football coach in history.
Yes. Now, I'll say this. I will say this. I don't really care what his record is as a head coach. We're not looking for a head coach, right? There have been, you could be a good coordinator and a bad head coach, like North Turner. North Turner was an awful head coach, excellent offensive coordinator, right? But I don't really like his offense either.
Well, but the offensive offense, right? He ran the Gulf Coast offense when he was at South Florida, and he took it to Oregon and Florida State, which it's a power run, and they say spread route concepts. All right, so they want power run, a big physical offensive line, and short high percentage throws for the quarterback with some deep shots, and they want the quarterback to be able to have the freedom to switch up the play at the line. And like Greg Roman, he really prefers an athletic quarterback to kind of really stress the defense at all points, which is fine, right? That's fine, I guess. Whatever. Like I don't really care what scheme coaches run, because if you go out, if you commit to it and you get the talent, you can run any scheme you want in the NFL, and you can run it successfully. So it's whatever. The problem I have with Willie Taggart is, I don't know that he's a good coach, period. I mean, he was there at Stanford with Jim Harbaugh. That's one of your connections, which is why he got the interview. With Toby Gerhart was running wild all over college football. But I just,
Toby Gerhart, yeah.
The whole, you have to know the Harbaughs to even get in the door really makes it, he's an unemployed coach with connections to the family. Like, is he going to come in and do anything different than what Jim or John tells him to do?
Well, that's the thing, right? Because he played for their father, Jack Harbaugh, Western Kentucky. And he was a coordinator or assistant coach over in Stanford with Jim.
Yeah, I believe he was the running backs coach, but he kind of ran the offense.
Right. So yeah. So it's always somebody. And listen, nepotism is the way of the NFL. It's not what you know at all. It's who you know, right? And I understand to a certain extent, right? You go with people that you feel comfortable with, somebody that you know that's familiar with you, understands what you're looking for already, things like that, right? People that you think you can work with. However, somebody like Harbaugh, who has shown repeatedly that he doesn't have any good friends, right? And I say good friends in a sense of, I mean, I'm sure they're good people, but they're not good at their jobs, right? So at what point as a GM do you say, nah, not this time, right? Not pick somebody else. I mean, yeah, he can interview. Sure, we'll interview him. He can't take the job, right? Here's a list of guys that you can pick from, though.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with hiring people that you're comfortable with, that or whatever. But make the list of people who are qualified first, and then pick from that list who you're most comfortable with having the job. And Willie Taggart, he went to Oregon. It was a kind of a big hire at the time, and we should point out that at every stop that he had as a head coach in college, he was the first black head coach for that school, which again tells you something about college football. But he went to Oregon. He only spent a year there. They went 7-5. Oregon fans were pretty happy to see him leave for Florida State, which is kind of his dream job. But while he was at Oregon, he ended up putting 3 players in the hospital because of just really, really over-the-top intense workouts that got players sick. And those are kind of huge red flags to me, especially in recent years. Like, this has been something that's been in football culture for a long time, but to have somebody who's still pushing players like that in practice is concerning, right? It says you still have the kind of old school mentality, and you're not I don't want to say he doesn't care about the players at all, right? I don't think that's the case, but you're not really concerned with their well-being. You're not concerned with what's best for them, or you're just really, I'll say this, you're confused about what is best for them and how to bring the best out of them, right? And if you combine that kind of attitude with the strength and conditioning and training staff that Baltimore already has, you could be looking at a little roster Armageddon again in Baltimore.
Yeah. Just read a couple of these comments real quick. What's up, Brandon? Brandon says they are interviewing him to get his name out there like they do with players. Yeah, hopefully that's all it is, right? But just going off the history, there's a strong chance that he ends up on the staff, right? That's what my fear is. All right. Mm-hmm. Yes, coach says plug my video on Willie, please. Of course, coach. Check it out. Check out his video. Look, he had a whole breakdown on Willie Taggart, right? And I do agree with one part of it. I mean, look, I agree with everything that you said in there. But the part about Florida State, he got a raw deal Florida State. I absolutely believe he got a raw deal Florida State. He only got a year and like year and a half. The second year he got fired. That's no time at all to turn around that program.
Well, that program was just, I mean, it was gutted by Jimbo Fisher. So yeah, he did get a raw deal there, but to be fair, he has a losing record everywhere he's been except for Oregon, and he was only at Oregon 1 year and he went 7-5. So now part of that is because he you go to smaller bad schools, you have a good season or two, and then you jump, right? But overall, his record was like 71-80. It's not great.
Now, I love this optimism here. I love it. Shout out to Kimberly Harmon. Kimberly says, I think Greg Roman will leave the day after the Super Bowl. Bless your heart, Kimberly. Bless your heart. Bless the 101 people are in here right now. Go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope this is the case too, Kimberly. I hope he leaves the day after we're in the Super Bowl. That's right. Keep hope alive. I don't see it happening. Let's see here. Okay. Mikey says Dion hired a OC already. So
okay. Yeah. So I guess he's not in the running still.
All right. Shout out to D Weezy for the donation. It says Tepper getting Hess for fumbling the bag of public money. Oh, yeah. The shoddy fumbling the bag with Lamar. Where's Chris Berman with the call? Oh, okay. Yeah, we're gonna listen. We'll talk about that. We didn't even talk about Tepper and his legal trouble with we'll talk about that in the Panthers section. But yeah, appreciate the donation. Andre Mir says, I'm a big Harv's fan, but I think I'm finally subscribing to the idea of him being fired. Finally, huh? What did it take? He said, if G-Roll leaves and we get another coach similar, he got to go. At this point, I mean, there's not going to be any drastic changes during the season in offensive scheme. So it doesn't matter. Even if you get a really good coordinator, it's going to be a similar offense. Like you can't just change up during the season, right? Yeah. Now, what can change is how the play is called, how the game is managed, the adjustments made during the game, right? Better execution, right? Those things can change during the season for sure. But the year we went to the Super Bowl, the last time we went to the Super Bowl, that's what happened. Cam Cameron got fired, Jim Caldwell came in, and they looked a lot better executing the plays, right? Same offense, right? But it looked different. So that's what we're looking for. Rock said Prime wanted him as DC. He got Sean Lewis as OC. Okay. All right. So it doesn't look like so is he still in the running for defensive coordinator?
I mean, honestly, who knows?
Okay. Marco G says my neighbor is a diehard Niners fan, and he's still pissed about G-Roll for calling consecutive pass plays in the red zone in the 2012 Super Bowl. Yes, indeed. I am happy about that. And shout out to Raven C. I see you in here, my friend. Raven C. He says, okay, gotta check out the movie. I saw you had another comment in here. I'll get to it. Yeah, he says knowing Harbs is like applying to a temp to hire job. Will always have your resume on file. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
maybe John needs to join his brother in college.
Yeah, that'd be great. Or join G-Roll staff. I don't know. Yeah. Damon says the mom and pop shop be running needs to close up shop. Mediocrity recycled. Yeah. So yeah, look. I mean, if it's just, hey, we want to get his name out there. We want him to get some interviews. Great. But we're still going to need an offensive coordinator. I saw somebody in the chat say, T. Martin. I think that was you, Raven C. T. Martin or Keith Williams needs to get first crack at that. Okay, I won't mind it, but yeah, listen. I mean, I'm not sure what good options there are out there, but explore all your options is my whole thing. And I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind one of them.
I mean, I would, because where was this supposed offensive revolution? What receivers have gotten any better? Like, honestly, since they've been, that was the whole thing, right? T. Martin and Keith Williams are going to come in here and do Greg Roman's job for him, but you're not any better at all passing the ball. I mean, maybe worse.
I mean, listen, I don't know what their role is in terms. Like, I don't think they call any plays, right? No, and they're working with nothing, right? They're working with.
They were supposed to turn that nothing into something, weren't they? That was the whole thing. He's a wide receiver guru, Keith Williams, right? Yeah. He turned Tyreek Hill into Tyreek Hill, didn't he?
Well, I mean, this is arguably Duvernay's best year yet. Mm-hmm. Right? I don't know. There are times in the game where I hear DeMarcus Robinson is a wide receiver one. I don't know. I don't know. I'm reaching here.
I'm just saying. I saw on Twitter they haven't had a wide receiver score a touchdown since week 8. And it was Devin Duvernay, but it was on a jet sweep. And they haven't had a wide receiver catch a touchdown since I believe it was week 3 or 4.
Yeah. I see just a piece saying the same thing. So let me ask you guys. T. Martin, Keith Williams. Why? Why do you just because they're on the team already? Listen, I'm always in support of the black coaches getting opportunities, but why them? What makes you think things will be different there? Shout out. What did Racy says Prochet has an INT. That's something. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. That is something.
That is something. Shout out to Marco G for the $2 donation. Said, what if this run first play defense philosophy goes beyond Harbs? If Bisciotti fires Harbs, I think he will hire a coach who's going to be okay with running the ball and playing defense. If the new coach wants an elite wide receiver, they may not get the job. Okay, so if Harbaugh gets fired, I think there'll be I also think EDC gets fired as well. Right. I think it'll be cleaning up the house type of thing, because more than likely Lamar will be gone at that point. Right. And that's a loss in revenue. So he's going to try to make a splash that gets the fans back on board, even if they keep Lamar. Right. And they keep EDC. It could be a change of philosophy. Say, hey, look, we tried it this way. It's not working. And we gotta, keep up with the times. Right. That can happen. What coach they get after that? I mean, who knows? Who knows? Right. I know defense has been the identity, but the league is changing, and we've never had a player like Lamar on this team. So, minds can change, but we'll find out this offseason which route they're going to go. Shout out to, I read that from Marco G. Yes. If you want to be awesome like Marco G and everybody that donated, right, there are 2 ways you can do that. Let me bring that off. This is how we do our super chats here. First is right below B, $ LBHT Show. That is the Cash App. The other way is that pin link that you see in the chat box. Both ways, you go there, you leave your donation, leave your comment, and Microphone Man will give you the raised fist. Okay, we appreciate it. We appreciate the 120 people in here right now. Go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I didn't mention at the beginning, but we are streaming live on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch. All right. So follow us in all those places. That's where you can find the live stream. All right. Hit the like buttons, all those places, hit the follow and all that good stuff. All right. Shout out to Keelan. Keelan says the offensive coordinator available is Clint Kubiak and Daryl Bevel. All right. Okay. Yeah. I don't think Harbaugh will hire another Kubiak here.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of guys available, right? Like you're looking at, quarterbacks coach, wide receiver coach, things like that to bump up to offensive coordinator. So, and again, listen, when everybody was asking before, we did a list of who would replace Harbaugh, who would replace Roman, whatever. That's not on us. That's them. They need to do their job, right? They are supposed to have a running list of up and coming candidates who could be the next offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, position coaches, whatever it is. So I don't really care. I don't care who I would want there, because they're not going to hire who I want, right?
Right.
This is the same thing with Carolina. I mean, I have a list of guys who I'd want to take over the head coaching job. They're not going to hire any of those guys, most likely. So it's whatever. That they have to make the right hire. We're not in the room interviewing these guys, anything like that. But this is, I wanted to get to this. Justin says, in regards to Keith and T. Martin, they know the personnel and players respect them. I mean, maybe the players respect them, I guess. We don't really know that for sure.
Yeah, how do we know that?
But
I'm not saying it's not true, but how do we know that?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we throw out these, these catchphrases, like, just these throwaway lines, like, oh, they respect the coaches, whatever. Like, we don't know what's going on there. It doesn't look like when they get on the field, they look like they don't care about anything. When they get on the field, they look sloppy.
And that's the thing. Like, what we're looking for is results, right? Coaches who get results, because the Ravens coaches don't. And those guys are part of the Ravens staff. You could say maybe it's not their fault. The issues that Baltimore has predate those guys, but they didn't change anything.
Yeah.
You know,
and Jessica P also says he misses our old intro music. There's good news. Good news. It's still on our old videos, so you can go back and watch those old videos anytime and get the old intro music. I appreciate it though, and shout out to Marco G for another donation. Thank you so much. He says also the Titans GM got fired for trading AJ Brown and not extending him. Also, I didn't know he got fired. He got fired?
Yeah, a couple days ago.
Also for making questionable draft picks. I hope EDC is watching. Not extending a star player could get you that pink slip. I'll say this: the guy they drafted, he ain't no slouch.
He's okay. I mean,
but he's been hurt, but since he's come back, he's been doing all right.
He's okay. But he's not AJ Brown.
He's not AJ Brown. No.
And I think that even more than, I mean, I'm not saying that didn't have anything to do with it. I think that was a big part of it. But I think also the team being stuck with Ryan Tannehill is also why he's out.
Yeah. Devon Allen says they're going what they always, they're going to do what they always do. I think we said. So we know what's going to happen. They're going to pay a defensive guy the money that should go to a wide receiver. That's the funny thing too. They don't even pay the defensive guys. Every now and then they'll pay a defensive guy, but not linebacker, right? What linebackers got a huge contract here other than Ray Lewis? You know, that's why I don't think, I personally don't think Roquan Smith is re-signing here. I think they're going to fumble that. They're going to try for sure, but they're not going to be able to tag him most likely. And he's going to wait until free agency so he can max out on the offers, because
as every player should.
Right. Like this is going to be one of those situations where it's oh well, let me just take this deal now. I don't want to hit the market because I might get offered less. He's going to get offered more, guaranteed. So
not every single player, but most players are going to make more money hitting free agency than they are just signing an extension.
Yes. And shout out to Marcus for the $5 donation. Says,
yes. Dude, no, that was a kind of auto-populated. I thought I deleted it. My bad.
That's
Marcus.
Okay.
But there was no comment with it. I don't know if you put it in the chat.
Thank you, Marcus. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. I see Marcus Frazier in the chat. That's you. Thank you. Says T. Martin coached at least 6 starting wide receivers when he was a coordinator at USC and Tennessee, and his offenses were top 10 every year. Okay, yeah,
that's cool. Not bad. What it sounds like is they recruited good starting wide receivers, but that's a reason to give him a shot, right?
Yes, yeah.
But
I wouldn't be mad at it.
It would be, but again, we were all very upset about them hiring the defensive coordinator right out of college. Now, you want to give T. Martin the offensive coordinator job with 1 year of assistant experience in the NFL? Right. I think you need to go outside of the organization and find somebody who can make a difference on this offense.
Yeah. Big Red says, you mean Treylon Burks? Yes, the wide receiver I want us to take anybody at that point. I mean, but yes, there's a few wide receivers. I was like, let's just go down the list and get him. Then he's gone. All right, go get this guy. Treylon Burks was one of them. Just Allo, what's going on? Just Allo says, no good OC will come here unless Lamar is locked down. A high school demand OC might take the job. Not in high demand. Yes,
I agree. That's true. If you're in those spots, if you're in those spots, you're looking to get to a team that's going to allow you to become a head coach quickly. And if there's no Lamar, that's probably not Baltimore.
I'll say this for T. Martin, right? Or Keith Williams. The bar is set low, right? I don't think it would be hard for them to come in and get a spark going in the offense, right? It's just a matter of sitting with Lamar and saying, which plays do you like here, right? Which plays are working for you? Let's try to implement some more of those plays, okay? Let's get the play called into you faster, right? You see something at the lines you want to change, you can, you have a little bit more freedom out there since you're carrying the team. Little things like that, and then just focusing on everybody else just executing. You know what I'm saying? Those little things could really jumpstart the offense, and then they'll have to tear it down in the offseason because we can't keep running this. But for now, I think that could pick things back up, right? It's just too sluggish right now. What's going on, Zeke Okage? Thanks for coming through, my friend.
What's up, Zeke?
Yes.
And Noah says,
Yeah, no, he said Ravens are a mess. Yes, they are. They are. E. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it says, here's a question for y'all. Does Cincinnati pay T. Higgins or not? Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase going to be knocking on the door pretty quickly. I think they do pay T. Higgins. There's no issue with paying three guys on the offense, especially guys who are in different years. They'll be able to stagger the cap hits and it'll be fine. I think Joe Mixon doesn't get paid in Cincinnati. Or doesn't get another contract in Cincinnati.
I can see
they'll
that.
be gone.
Yeah, no, I agree. Living Legend said Justin Houston waited a year too late to be great. Hey, we're gonna honor what we said, Living Legend. We got you. We owe you a shirt. We don't owe you a shirt. We want to give you a shirt. We're gonna give you a shirt. Yes. You if that bet happened this year, you would be getting that shirt already.
But since it was last year, you're gonna get one of the legacy shirts.
Kimberly wants to know, Panthers fans out there, what are your thoughts on Baker Mayfield release? He's the free agent now. All right, look, do we want to transit? Well, okay, we'll get to that later because I want to have those two topics together, Baker and then the game. But right now we're going to get into the Ravens Steelers game. It is Steelers week. Does it feel like it?
Yeah, it used to mean something, right?
This used to be the game. This used to be the game. Now it's just another week. And with Lamar not playing, my camera went out. It'll come back. Look. Greg Roman says, "Shut them down over there. Shut them down."
Yeah, with Lamar not playing, there's a real discussion on who's got the better quarterback going into this week. If it's Kenny Pickett, otherwise known as Toddler Digits, or Tyler Huntley.
Wow,
that's not me. I didn't give him that name. The Steelers have the better wide receiver room, obviously. They have the better running back in Najee Harris. Now, not sure if he's going to be healthy for this game. Ravens obviously have the advantage at tight end, although Freiermuth is a good enough player. And I think that, the Steelers, they still don't know what the heck is going on the O-line. So I think Baltimore gets a slight advantage there. And obviously, Baltimore's defense much better than Pittsburgh, although Pittsburgh's been playing better once they got, obviously, TJ Watt back. I mean, big surprise, right? You get like the second best player in the league, defensive player in the league back, and your defense plays a little better. Yeah. I think it's a pretty even matchup overall, especially when you factor in coaching. But it is in Pittsburgh, and I think that the Ravens are going to be going home upset after this one.
Listen, I don't see us winning, right? I think it's a problem. Tyler Huntley, man, look, I like Tyler Huntley. I don't have anything against him. He's not Lamar, okay? And the way this offense is run, it is powered by Lamar. And when Lamar's not in the game, this offense is nothing. It looks awful, right? And I think Tyler Huntley in a better run system could be serviceable until the starter came back. But in this system, it's just not happening, right? I mean, shout out to him last week. Had put together a good drive at the end to get us the lead and eventually the win. But we need something slightly more in this game, I believe. And this is on the road. So I just don't think he can do it. And shout out to Sancho, says replace the GM too. What's up, fellas? What's up, man?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Z the B says 63% chance we lose. What up, fellas?
What's up, Z?
I wanted to get to this comment here. There we go. MJ says, who would you rather have, Tyler Huntley or Baker Mayfield? Can I put Mark Andrews at quarterback? Because I don't like. Listen, I know that people love Tyler Huntley, but I see a guy who they give a lot of easy throws to, and then when he has to make not easy throws, he turns the ball over. But in their current state, obviously we'll be taking Tyler Huntley. Baker Mayfield. I mean, I hate to say it like this because I've never been a Baker Mayfield fan, but he's a shell of himself. At this point now, right? He's
a shell of himself in his rookie deal.
Yes. Yeah. so as like right now today, December 7th, 2022, I'm taking Tyler Huntley.
was it after his second or third year, right? People were questioning his work ethic, right? You see Lamar working out all season, just working like an animal, right? Working out with Hollywood, working out with AB. Look, AB is a nut, but his work ethic was top notch, right? And Lamar be out there just working out. You know, you see him working out with Jerry Jeudy, like all these people. Just every time you saw Lamar working out. And then there is a video of Baker Mayfield getting off his couch doing some push-ups.
Roll off the bed and did some push-ups, do like 3 or 4 push-ups. It's like real narrow angle. It was like the Ben Roethlisberger "I'm not fat" video. Right?
And it was that moment I was like, yeah, he's not gonna make it. No. He's not gonna make it. I didn't think it'd be this quick. What's up, Moses? Thanks for coming through to the live stream. Appreciate it. Attitude Pop says I was watching First Things First. That was your first problem. And Chris Broussard was talking about. Broussard was talking about how Lamar don't have weapons, and former Broncos lineman on the show said Pat Mahomes lost all his weapons and he looks good. Oh, so I guess the best tight end in the world, you know, Travis Kelce. I guess that's nothing.
And look, I know they don't have anybody as good as Tyreek, but they do have good other options at wide receiver. You know, Juju is better. Juju is a good receiver. Marquez Valdez-Scantling is an all right receiver. Mecole Hardman is a decent receiver. Like, it's not like in Baltimore. They don't have any starting receivers in Baltimore.
Yo, and they just picked up what's his name from the Giants?
Yeah, Kadarius Toney.
Toney. Man, give me. You can have everybody on our offense for those guys. All right, Isaiah Pacheco too.
Mm-hmm.
Right, he's running better than our running backs.
Yeah, because he is better than your running backs.
Look at that.
JK still on his way back. You know, hope he heals up quickly. But Gus ain't doing nothing out there. Kenyon Drake's he's a good solid piece, but he's not a feature back. So
listen, JK is starting to sound like a myth at this point. I keep hearing this man's name and he's coming back. When? All right, who is this guy? All right, the myth of J.K. Dobbins. He's gonna come back. He's gonna look just like Gus Edwards. What's Gus Edwards' excuse, by the way? I don't want to hear. Oh well, he's coming off an injury. Don't suit up.
There's no excuse. I've been telling y'all for the last couple of years, he's nothing special. He's just a guy. He gets what's blocked. That's all he is. You don't pay your backup running back $3 million to just go out there and fall forward. That's stupid. But that's Ravens. That's Ravens football, right?
And they said, love y'all, man. Keep going. Appreciate it. He said, Baker's so lost. He that kid waiting for mom to dress him. Remind you, he 8 years old. Mr. J6, what's going on, man? Says TJ Watt and Cameron Hayward are going to be licking their lips like dogs. They haven't been fed in 7 days when they see Ravens whole line.
Is Ronnie back this week?
I don't know. Oh, that's another one. I don't know. Week to week. Everybody's week to week. Why is it every time these players that are supposed to be week to week, like it takes them forever to come back? I don't know. Ronnie's looking at Lamar. So you coming back this week? He's like, nah. He's like, me neither. All right. Shout out to Hendo for a $10 donation. Says, pour a little out to the ghost of JK's past. Yeah. And future, right? We keep projecting him to be this great running back, but he's not getting an opportunity to be that. Shout out to Keelan Johnson, man. Hey, appreciate you coming through, Keelan. He's a very active viewer, like a lot of you guys are. He says, I'm telling y'all, that was the last time Lamar put on a Ravens jersey. You could be right. He said the Ravens will be out of the playoffs by the third game, and Lamar won't suit back up. Everyone knows it's over. This is why this game is so important. Because just like last year, I believe if they made the playoffs, Lamar would have come back, right? I don't think Lamar is sitting out of spite, but it's one of those things where, you know, the reason why he's hurt is because this offense is just sluggish and he's asked to do too much, right? Yeah. So he's not going to just go out there and play hurt. He has to get to a certain level of health before he goes out there and plays. So he's not going to play this week, most likely. And we need this win because I think the Bengals are going to win. If they win, then they're ahead in the division. Yeah. And then just moving forward, man, it's going to be a struggle every game that Lamar doesn't come back. if we drop the next two games, serious trouble. And I don't want to keep harping on Tyler Huntley just because you got some knuckleheads out there in the media, right? And those level one, the gatekeepers trying to hype him up and kind of drop that little seed in your head that, hey, we can be fine with Tyler Huntley. He can run the offense. Can't run the offense. We can't win. We can't put a point.
You ain't see the command he had though.
Yeah, look how he commands the offense.
Just clowns. Your boy Ryan Meek was out there just drooling over a 4-yard pass. I'm like, what are you doing, man?
He's doing his job. I
know, but you just find a better play. But yes, it's this week because they followed up. They've got a short week and they're playing Cleveland because that game got moved to Saturday. And they're playing Cleveland in Deshaun Watson's third game back. So you would assume that he would, at that point, have knocked off the rust, and we'd be, closer to what we know or what we've seen from Deshaun Watson before. So I'm not real comfortable picking them beating Cleveland.
Right.
So if you can't beat Kenny Pickett, it's looking like 2 losses in a row, and then you got to hope you beat Atlanta. But hey, you got all them guys on defense, right? You got Justin Houston, like you mentioned. You got Tyus Bowser's back and playing well. JPP's been playing out of his mind since he got there. You got Calais. You got Matabike. You got Broderick Washington stepping up really big this year. You got Roquan and Patrick Queen, the dynamic duo in the middle, assuming Patrick Queen plays this week. I'm hoping he's healthy enough to go.
Yeah.
And then you got your all pro corners. You got, I know that Marcus Williams is still hurt. When's he coming back, by the way? Because I thought that there was a point where they were like, yeah, he's on his way, and then he got lost or something. I don't know. But you got all these guys on defense. You should be able to shut down Kenny Pickett in his what 10th start.
You make a good point, right? Because didn't they lose? Did they lose to the Colts?
Pittsburgh?
Was it the Colts? Yeah.
I want to say yes.
Or was it the Broncos?
Let me check
we were watching that game and Suge was losing his mind. Kenny Pickett threw that interception at the end. Listen,
they beat the Colts. They lost to Cincinnati, Philly, Miami, Buffalo, the Jets, Cleveland, and New England.
Okay, maybe it was a Cleveland game that we were watching. But look, yes, the defense, the way we constructed this team, should be able to hold it down, right? The same way they did last week against the Broncos. And not granted, the Broncos, they're one of the most inept offenses in the league, But he said, I wonder if Roquan can play wide receiver. Yeah, listen, but this is what we built the team for, right? We built the team to where take the pressure off of offense, and we should be able to prey on other bad offenses in the league, right? We should be able to go out there, force some turnovers, get stops, give the offense, multiple opportunities. That's what we're asking them to do. So get it done. I don't think they're going to get it done against a Mike Tomlin-led team, right? But that's the challenge.
But to your point, like when you build your team defense first, you're looking at a team who's starting a rookie quarterback who hasn't even started all season, who has a banged up running back, who has not a good O-line. Yes, they have some really good wide receivers, but the O-line and the quarterback should combine to say, hey, he's not going to be able to get the ball to them, right? They should have no problem completely shutting down this Pittsburgh offense. Like when I say shutting down, I'm saying, 10 or fewer points.
Yeah.
Like that should not be an issue at all for Baltimore with the talent that they have on defense and the focus that they've put on that defense. This is the time where you look at your defense and you say, you have to go win us this game. And yeah, everybody remembers it back in Baltimore when they used to do that and the defense would go and win the game. It's not really the case anymore.
Yeah. Shout out to SV Cam. Thanks for coming through. Says, we're not going to win another game with Huntley at starting QB. He has a 1-6 record as starter. It's 2. No, it's 2. It's 2-6 or 2-5. 2-5. Oh, as starter. He said as starter. No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
as starter. He didn't start this game. Yeah. I'm willing to put actual money on the fact that we won't win another game with him. Any takers? I know. Hey,
I know D Weezy in there still. He'll take that.
I'm not sure if he'll take that one. Listen. If if Lamar's injury is an extended one where he sets out for longer than we think, and we don't win while he's out, I think a couple things are just it's too much, right? It's too obvious. It's too much proof out there that one, this coaching staff they're doing an awful job, and two, that this team is absolutely nothing without Lamar, right? Absolutely nothing. If he can't win a single game as starter, right, or literally just one game as starter, right, even against bad teams, that's all the proof that you need that Lamar is everything to this team, and he must be paid. You cannot let it get to a point where you have to franchise tag him. You guys tell him, listen, just give me the number, we'll write the check, and let's get it done right now. Let's see. Raven C says, find a better play like that 6-yard pass. Yeah. Keelan says, Spencer, Ravens for Dummies said Lamar left. Who is that guy? Ravens for Dummies. Is that one of the is that's not
22, isn't it?
Is that him?
No,
or
maybe not.
No, that's not one of the what you call them? I forget the ones that do the salary cap guys. He said Lamar left the game before the start of the third quarter. He even accepts that he feels like Lamar is going to get tagged and traded this offseason based off of what he's hearing. I mean, they always be saying stuff like nobody knows. What is he hearing? Is he hearing from Lamar? Right? None of us know. Shout out to Jalen for a donation. It says, who comes back first, JK or Jonathan Isaac?
Like, how long has Isaac been out?
Yo, there's so many players. Every time we're going through the roster of who we have, every other name, it seems like, hey, when's this guy coming back?
Yeah.
I thought Marcus Williams was close. Right?
They kind of made it sound like that, but
they did.
Liars.
They did. But I am glad that
Jeez, that's what I thought. Like, I know that Jonathan Isaac tore his ACL, but he didn't play all last year and he hasn't played yet this year. Like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah. So Zeta B says, Mark Slayer, listen, again, why do you listen to these people? Said Tyler Huntley is a better pure passer than Lamar. Those people need to be stopped.
And I like Mark Schler generally. I mean,
I don't.
Usually, I mean, he's fun to listen to, right? I don't think he's right a lot of the times, but he's fun to listen to. And I like his little, it's not even a podcast that he does, but he puts out little shorts, kind of like Man Facts or whatever. It's funny. He's a funny guy. Yeah. That's stupid, but at least he can be stupid and be likable, unlike Emmanuel Acho. Emmanuel Acho is just the worst thing on TV.
Look, I see you live, you guys in here just dropping names of other people in media. You do realize we don't care what they think, right? I get it. It's part of the conversation. It's cool, but we don't care what they say. Right.
I haven't watched one of those shows in I don't know how many years.
I see clips on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's the only time I see these things, right? I get little sound bites, but I don't actually watch these shows anymore. Shout out to Xavier Smith says, I don't get the narrative that Lamar won't be with the Ravens next year unless he decided not to play or hold out. He will be playing. He will be franchised. So yes, so the way the franchise works, right? And here's why people are saying that. I'll keep this up while I explain. If he decides, that's it, I don't want to play for you guys anymore. Yes, he can get tagged. He doesn't have to sign the franchise tag. The franchise tag only gives that team exclusive rights to sign him. He's still not signed. He's still a free agent, right? It only gives the Ravens, time to sign him. Lamar has until the 7th week this year, since they added the game, to sign the tender. 7th week of the NFL. So this whole offseason, while they tagged him, that salary is going to count against their cap, right? It's a placeholder. So hey, you're reserving this money for this guy, which is going to be $45 million, around that much this year. So that's a lot of money to put on the Ravens cap. And yes, the cap is shooting up a lot, but for a team that's very frugal and doesn't like to spend money already, that is a major, major hit for somebody who they don't know is going to play, right? And there have been a couple players, I think it was 2. You had Le'Veon Bell. I think there was another player who got tagged who just said, "Look, I'm not going to play this year." Right.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I don't think Lamar will sit out the whole year, but he can make it very uncomfortable. Right. So that's not something that they want to do. So if he says, "I don't want to be here," they will most likely trade him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like that's why people are saying that if he gets he's going to get franchised because they clearly don't want to pay him his money. So unless there's a major change of heart in the front office and in the owner's room, he's going to get franchised. If he says trade me, they're going to trade him. They're not going to let $45 million sit on their cap all through the offseason and kind of hamstring what they can do. And nobody, when you're talking about that quarterback position, nobody wants to deal with a guy who doesn't want to be your starting quarterback. And it's funny to hear this from Ravens fans, not you specifically, Xavier, but just in general, because whenever we brought up Orlando Brown and saying, "Hey, he's under contract, just tell him to come play," but he wanted to go. Oh, but why don't you just tell Hollywood he's staying? You're not trading him, but he wanted to go.
Yeah.
He
asked to leave.
It's funny too, because when people were asking about, well, why didn't they get a wide receiver in the draft? Oh, Lamar said he wanted O-line. Okay, well, he said he wanted Antonio Brown too. You didn't do that. So
right.
Listen, they're going to, if he says, "I don't want to be here, I want you to trade me," they're going to trade him. Now, I don't know that he's going to say that. I'm sure he wants to stay in Baltimore. So hopefully they'll get something done.
Hey, Kogan Scherer has a question for you, B. He says, "I'd like to know what Brodny would feel if the Ravens fired Harbaugh and the Panthers hired him for a head coach."
I wouldn't care. I wouldn't be a Panthers fan.
He said, "I feel bad for them."
Yeah. Oh, no, I wouldn't do anything for him. I'm not that's fine. I don't think that John Harbaugh's a bad coach. I think he's a coach who has worn out his welcome in Baltimore. I think if he goes somewhere else, he'll be fine. He'll be successful somewhere else. I don't think he's going to win another Super Bowl, but he'll be successful. But yeah, if they hired John Harbaugh, I wouldn't be a Panthers fan anymore.
Yeah. John Jose Ali said Ravens can beat the Squealers if they bench Huntley and start James Prochet. Hey, man.
Lord.
All he needs is a chance, guys. All he needs is a chance.
He needs an opportunity.
Alex Rada says Spencer didn't say that he heard it from anyone. He was speculating. Okay. The Ravens for Dummies guy. Hey, everybody's entitled to opinion. I respect that.
Jeff Drybeck was speculating as well. Somebody asked him, what he thought the chances of Lamar being here next year are. He said 70%, which I thought was shockingly low coming from a Ravens beat writer.
Yeah, And this is the other part, just Al, you're right. You can't possibly trade a player on a tag unless they sign the tender, and then the other team would have to negotiate a new contract with Lamar. Yes.
Right. Which is why, I don't get when people say that Lamar doesn't have any leverage. He has all the leverage because they tag him and he says, "I want you to trade me and I'm only going to Miami or I'm only going to Atlanta or wherever." They have to trade him where he wants to go at that point. Because like you said, Just Allo, they have to work out a deal before getting the trade done, because Bill O'Brien's not in the league anymore and we're not going to see another Laramie Tunsil trade.
Right. And the difference between this situation and Le'Veon Bell's situation is they can't eat that $45 million for the whole year. Right. And not have their quarterback. They can't do it. So he has all the leverage. So if they tag him, it's one of two options, right? It's a tag him with the intent to trade him, right? Or they're serious about signing him, right? Yeah. And at that point, he's only going to sign for what he asked for. There's no negotiation there. It's, "You're going to pay me what I want," and they're going to say yes or no.
Not Detroit, no.
What? Why Detroit? They have a quarterback. I thought you liked him.
What's up, Suge?
What's up, Suge?
He said, "Oh, hey, me." that was weird phrasing.
All right, couple more, and then we're gonna get to the Panthers side of this because listen, look, Panthers and Ravens, right? B's a Panthers fan. I'm a Ravens fan. For those of you who don't know, by the way, 152 people in here. Go ahead. I mean, you guys are crazy. 150. We never had this many people on a Wednesday show before. Shout out to you guys, man. Salute. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Smash that like button while you're here. Yes. Look, Ravens and Panthers, they're two sides of the same coin. Okay. When we first drafted Lamar, right, and things were going well from the jump. Obviously his rookie year took over. We went to the playoffs. Second year MVP. B kept on telling me, look, I'm just saying, look out for that Cam Newton treatment, right? It's starting to find out. I was like, nah, look, they went and drafted him a wide receiver. They drafted 2 wide receivers for him, right? Things are looking up. We're not going to do anything different. We got a great O-line, I said, this ain't right. Even B started to change his mind a little bit. So, okay, well, maybe. And then after the MVP season, they went full Cam treatment, aka the black quarterback treatment. He doesn't need an O-line. Just give him Villanueva. It's good enough, right? I mean, look, just bring Des Bryant.
Had y'all thinking Owe and Dillon were superstars?
Man, listen,
they beaten Villanueva in practice.
Yeah, this is get some defense. The offense has gotten worse and worse and worse. The talent has gotten less and less and less on this side of the ball. So much so that now that Lamar isn't playing these games, it's hard to watch it. You can't even watch a game. It's like, what am I looking at? This is an NFL.
Yeah,
it looks so bad out there. The crowd instantly booed when Lamar went out the game. As soon as Tyler Huntley went in, they're like, "No, we're not here for this."
They blew that man hard. And he won the game.
Attitude Pop says, see, this is what I'm talking about, Attitude Pop. Bobby Trotter says Huntley gives this Ravens offense something Lamar doesn't. And I'm like, bro, they literally called different and easier plays for him than they do for Lamar. They tell Lamar to carry, I guess he said means the team. Listen, he gave them 10 points.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can say, hey, it looks different out there. Yeah, he gave him 10 points.
It does look different. It looks like a well-executed offense. It looks like an up-tempo offense. It looks like they're playing better, but they're not.
Yeah.
They're not actually playing better. It just looks that way because they're throwing 4-yard passes to wide receivers who can't run after the catch.
So I thought about that. You know why it looks that way, right? Because, yes, those short passes are essentially their handoffs because they can't run without Lamar in the game. They just can't. They can't run at all. Even with Tyler Huntley, they're like, we'll run a couple times, but really we can't. You're just not. You're not Lamar. So to get the run game going, we're just going to do these short passes. It's basically catch and run, right? Try to get some yak. That's how we're going to move the ball. But it's really no different. And no, it is different. It's worse, in fact, because we don't have any talent that can do anything with the ball after the catch, and you can't run on top of that. It's actually a worse offense.
It is a much worse offense, and for how bad it looks and how we all kind of pile on, the Ravens are one of the more efficient offenses in the league with Lamar in at quarterback. They're one of the better offenses in the league. They're a top 10 offense in the league. It just doesn't look that way, and it looks like everything's a struggle, and it is. But that's how good Lamar is. He takes all the crap around him, and he makes it work. Yeah, he doesn't make it pretty, but he makes it work, right? Yeah. And then when he comes out of the game, it looks prettier, but it's far less, effective.
Okay, all right. Look, the comments that keep pouring in. We are going to go to the Panthers. The Panthers portion of we already had an hour. We gotta speed this up. Okay, we still gotta do rapid fire here. All right, we're gonna talk some Panthers, and then we're gonna do our rapid fire picks, and then we're gonna do a bonus time. All right, so keep the comments coming. All right, now Baker Mayfield. I was told that Baker Mayfield was going to be the savior. Andre Mears, you're one of them. I see you in there.
Sure.
I see you, Andre. I see you. Okay. Our guy Garnett, there's a few people out there saying that Baker, well, maybe it may not have been Garnett. I am his legal representative. I should not be throwing him under the bus like this. I apologize. Listen, he was supposed to look. Skip Bayless. I did see Skip Bayless was one of his biggest cheerleaders. I'm not sure what he's saying about him now. Probably, knowing Skip Bayless, he probably still saying, Baker is still going to be great. And I'll say this. So, all right, didn't work out with the Panthers. Obviously, didn't work out with the Browns. He's in LA now. He said, I legitimately feel bad for Baker. Why? Andre?
Why? I'm interested to hear why you feel bad for Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield.
Go ahead and put that in the chat.
Baker Mayfield, former #1 overall pick, undeservingly.
I won't say undeservingly. I mean, look, he wasn't the best quarterback out of that class, but that happens a lot. That's fine,
yes,
right?
yes.
He did win the Heisman at Oklahoma. He was a good college quarterback, and I won't say undeservingly.
Okay. That was harsh because he was rookie of the year. He had a really good rookie season, right?
Yeah.
Can't take that away from him. But there were high expectations after that, and he not only didn't live up to it, he said, "I'm going to do the opposite of those expectations."
Yeah.
Okay. But got all the progressive commercials. They still coming out, and I love all of them. I think he's excellent in those commercials. Right? Darius says he wasn't progressive enough in the office.
There you go.
I love those commercials. He's great in those. Right? He's made a lot of money.
Yes.
And for as big of a failure as he's been, he still has another golden opportunity in front of him because the Rams are at a point where, look, they got what they needed out of Matt Stafford. They said, look, we squeezed out a ring out of you. We're done with you now, right? They're going to be looking for another quarterback next year, and they'll get one. Now, in the meantime, right, Matt Stafford's not playing. They picked up Baker Mayfield, and they're going to give Baker Mayfield a chance.
Yeah.
And he's working with something over there. If he can muster anything together, there is hope for him still.
Yeah, he could end up being the guy for the Rams, and I think it's a great landing spot. Like if you're going to try and turn things around, where better than under Sean McVay?
Yes,
who got Jared Goff to a Super Bowl,
yes,
and another conference championship game before you shipped him out of town. He's got a great opportunity. He doesn't deserve the opportunity, but it's there for him. Injuries happen, and he was available. He has to be released. They said, "See you later." So now he has to go to LA, make the best of it. I'm rooting for Baker, man. I hope he turns it around. I hope he does well over there, and I think you're going to see significantly better play out of Baker in LA than you saw in Carolina. Now, whether that's enough to keep him as their starter next year, we'll see. But I think he'll be better for sure than he wasn't for the Panthers.
Yeah. Raven C says rookie of the year Baker, gotta make it sound good. Yeah, he was rookie of the year. Noah says although expectations should remain low, I'm intrigued to see what boy genius Sean McVay can get out of Baker Mayfield. I am too. I am too. Right, because he did show you flashes. Right, that rookie year,
and his third year.
Yes,
he was good in his third year too. I don't think he's trash. He should have never been to first overall, but I truly think in the right situation, he can make something happen. Okay, but
he's in the right situation now. It can't get no righter than this.
Right. Like I don't think that's a reason to feel bad for him. He hasn't played well. I mean, he's just been bad.
What was bad about the situation in Cleveland though? I mean,
Baker was bad about that situation.
Like they didn't put it on his arm, right? They put it on two of the baddest running backs in the league. Two of them, right?
And one of the best wide receivers in the league. Like, I mean, I know it seems so long ago now, but what was it 2012, 2013 when Odell came in the league? His first couple of years, he looked like he was on a Jerry Rice trajectory. Like he was unbelievable in New York. And then he went to Cleveland, and Baker was like, "Nah, I ain't throwing it to you." He
was being compared to Randy Moss, and everybody's like, "Yeah, I see it."
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I mean, he had everything there. All they asked him to do was grow up, and he said, "No, I don't want to do that." Y'all tripping, man. I'm gonna go shoot this progressive commercial real quick. I'll be back later. All right.
Grow up. I have 2 jobs.
I'm a man now. Darius says plot twist. Robinson pops going to get the camera ready when Baker misses him open. Yeah. John Hazem Ali says James Prochet can throw better than Baker. Wow. Give Prochet another chance, is what he's saying. Keelan says, nah, Rams suck. No offensive line, no run game, and no receivers now since.
I thought Van was back.
Van Jefferson, Allen Robinson. Listen.
And I don't like the racist, but Tyler Higbee.
Listen, I don't want to hear no wide receivers being a Baltimore fan. They have wide receivers. Again, for what they have right now, I would easily give it what we have and take that. I'll take Cam Akers too. Right? He hasn't been looking great, but I'll take Cam. Listen, he's healthy. Right? He had 2 touchdowns last weekend. Right? Baker is not working with nothing. He is not working with nothing. Okay, the cupboard is not bare over there. We have a bare cupboard over here. All right. We have 1 can of spam, and it's near expiration date. All right. One session says Baker threw a pick and tried to hit stick the defender that picked the ball and got hurt. It was downhill from there.
I'm not gonna make fun of him for wanting it. All right, because look, that's how Cam got hurt.
Yes,
that was the beginning of the end for Cam when Kelvin Benjamin decided he didn't need to tackle the guy he let intercept the ball in front of him.
I was gonna say, well, that's after somebody else missed the tackle or didn't.
No, he didn't miss the tackle.
Yeah.
That ball he let that corner jump right in front of him, pick off the ball, and he just walked off to the sideline. He's like, well, defense turn.
Denville Carlisle says, I think they said Matt Stafford has a neck injury, so his career might be over. I don't think neck injuries are going to keep a quarterback from playing necessarily, because I think Peyton Manning played for like 5 years on a neck injury, right?
Yeah.
I know Ed Reed played on a neck injury. It depends. I mean, look, it's tricky, right? But nowadays there's very few things that are going to end your career, right? Buck says Robinson is on IR. Okay, all right. I don't know who's over there. I don't know, but they have a damn good coach. I know that. All right. Davon says, sadly, we have to take anything available at this point. Yeah, look, Odell is still unsigned. He didn't sign with the Cowboys.
They didn't make him an offer.
Didn't make him an offer.
They said they think he's not ready.
And we were supposed to be talking to him. So, okay, he's not ready. So what? Right? We need to make him an offer. Say, hey, we'll sign you right now. Okay. Look at all the players that we have healing. You can go sit in a room right with them. Rehab with them. Okay. It's gonna be a full room. Right. So sign them. Jake P says McVay will definitely put Baker in a solid position, but he'll never be able to overcome his height. That's not it. The height isn't the issue. It's not an issue. Jalen, thank you for the donation. He says, shout out to Bearded Sam for I missed that
for being a pro through it all.
I mean, he's being he has a professional attitude.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would like to once again, I'm going to point out that he scored more than twice as many points on Denver as y'all did.
Yeah.
So,
he says, does spam really have an expiration date? I don't know, but do you want to eat it? Right.
It's not a theory we want to test.
I mean, when you have to open up that can, slice it up and throw it on the skillet, are you smiling?
Oh Lord, no. What you got going on here, Noah? Noah said, peep the new pick. So it's a Ravens logo.
New PF
but you're not a Ravens fan, so I don't understand. I am confused.
Then I said DJ Moore smirked while discussing Baker's departure was priceless. I missed it. Look, okay, so Panthers versus Seahawks.
Yeah. They said that Baker asked for the release and then that he was upset. So I don't
about
know.
What?
DJ Moore said that he was upset when he was saying goodbye to him or whatever. When he was telling him about it. I was like, yeah, man, just get out, dude. Like, I'm rooting for you, but just be quiet.
He said, Baker, I called your Uber.
Stay over there. Just stay over there.
Where's Robbie Anderson? How come he didn't take his victory lap? He's running around saying, I told you.
Because he in Arizona not doing anything.
Yeah. Okay. Now listen. And what's up, ID? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. This, as bad as the Panthers have been looking, they are 1 game out. Is that correct? One game out. I had to rub my eyes when I saw it on the screen. I was watching Tampa Bay in Saints game. I was like,
it's a bad division. They're 2 games behind Tampa. But yeah, it's a real bad division. Okay. What do you want?
listen, and Tampa almost lost that game.
Mm-hmm.
The Panthers are still in it now.
Why you keep saying
For the
stuff
Panthers
like
the Panthers fans that are in here, okay, I want your opinion. B, I want your opinion. Well, I know your opinion, right? But look. Shout out to the Panthers content creators out there. Shout out to Pat Coltrane. I was watching your video earlier today. Matt ruled out hilarious, by the way. Shout out to Rashad and Dave from Panthers Nation podcast. I think I have an idea of how they feel about it. They want them to compete, right? They want Steve Wilkes as the next head coach. I want to know, Panthers fans, not Panthers fans, just anybody can chime in. But do you think they are 2 games out from winning the division? Now, mind you, they don't have a winning record, but they are 2 games out from winning the division. Should they compete and try to make the playoffs, or complete this tank job and secure a QB? What say you? B, we know your opinion, but let's
I want to point out Robbie Anderson, since being traded to the Arizona Cardinals after week 6, so he started playing in week 7 for Arizona. He has 10 targets, 2 catches for 13 yards with a long reception of 17. So they traded for Robbie Anderson. He's played 6 games in Arizona, and he has 13 yards receiving.
First of all, B, what does that have to do with Baker Mayfield? Okay, that's a straw man argument right there.
No, I'm just pointing out. You asked about Robbie Anderson.
I said, how come he's not taking a victory lap about Baker
Mayfield? Because he has 13 yards in 6 games. That's why.
Also,
you don't get to take victory laps.
Also, poor coaching over there too. All right, let Robbie cook. All right, hashtag let Robbie cook. Yeah. What's up, Cal? Man, Callie said he hates Acho more than anyone on TV.
Facts.
Wow.
That is true. That dude is the absolute worst. Because you know why? Because he doesn't care how stupid a take it is.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I really don't pay attention to him. Like, I hear people talk about him, but like, he's one of those people. Even on Twitter, when I'm scrolling, when I see his video, I just keep scrolling. So like, I know he makes these hot takes or whatever, but he's one of those people. Like, if you, I will hear things that Skip and Shannon say. I will hear things, some of these other people say. Like, and I'll see the video clips. I can't even tell you what he sounds like. Right.
I tell you, man, like it seems like, and I could be wrong, maybe it's just me not paying attention, but it seems like Stephen A is having a really difficult time keeping his names in the headlines without Skip. It's all Skip and Shannon now. I don't see nearly as many Stephen A videos. Mr. J says, if we somehow beat the Seahawks, then yes, compete. Mathematically, we're not out of it yet. You are wrong, sir. Okay. They are 4-8.
I want everybody, let me know. Let us know. Should the Panthers compete, or should they tank for the QB? How do you guys feel about that in general? Right. I know our friends over at Panthers Nation podcast, they're saying, listen, tank for what? Right. That doesn't guarantee that you're going to get a top quarterback. Right. You can compete, make the playoffs, and you can still get a quarterback later on in the draft. We see it happen. Lamar didn't go until he was the 32nd pick. Josh Allen went a little bit later as well, right? The top quarterbacks can fall. This is true. Mm-hmm. This is true. But I want to remind you guys, Cam Newton went number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And you did not want the second quarterback or third. Right.
And that's really what it comes down to. You don't know. Like, yeah, you could say that about any position. Why even keep your first round pick? I mean, you get players later, right? There's more players later. There's more rounds. Just trade out, get more picks. That's what the Ravens do, right? How you looking with them 11 fourth-round picks? Looking pretty bad, aren't you? You know why? Because the players in the 4th round are worse than the players in the 1st round, period. Yeah. That's just the way it is. And we don't know how these quarterbacks are going to turn out. Maybe Bryce Young is going to be a bust. Maybe C.J. Stroud is going to be a bust. Maybe A.J. Richardson and Hendon Hooker are going to be the best quarterbacks in this class. We don't know. We don't know. Yeah. But you need to put yourself in a position to get the player that you think is going to be the guy. If you think it's going to be Bryce Young, and that's the guy that you want, don't settle for Hendon Hooker. And hope.
That's the thing right there, right? And that's something only the next head coach, and Scott Fitterer and Tepper can figure out, right? Like, who are they looking at? right? The thing with the Bills, I mean, and shout out to that, who's their GM, Bean,
Yeah.
And your former defensive coordinator.
Well, former assistant GM too.
Oh, was he?
He interviewed for that job. They didn't give it to him. They gave it to Gettleman, and he went to Buffalo with McDermott.
Yeah. So okay, yeah. So McDermott and Bean, they had a clear vision, right? They tried to tank for Josh Allen. They figured Josh Allen would be at the top, right, of the draft. And Tyrod Taylor said, "You're not tanking on my dime, right?
Mm-hmm.
On my time." And he got them to the playoffs. And they said, "All right, cool. It is what it is. We competed, made it to the playoffs. Now we're going to trade off all kinds of assets to move up." And they got lucky, right? When something like that happens, you get lucky. The Ravens got lucky. That wasn't like, we planned it this way. It was just luck, right?
Yeah.
But it worked out. But they knew from the jump. They knew from the prior year that they wanted Josh Allen. They were laser focused on Josh Allen. Is there anybody in this draft? We don't know. We can't read their minds, but is there anybody in this draft that they're looking at now saying that's our guy? No matter what it takes, we'll get that guy. And yes, if that's the case, yes, you don't have to be near the top necessarily if you're willing to do what it takes to move up and get that guy, right? That's what the Chiefs did. They knew they wanted Pat Mahomes. They weren't picking that high up, but they said whatever it takes, right? And now people don't even remember what they gave up to get him. They just, we know that they got him.
And you know why? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I'm just saying. So, like, do they have that clear of a vision? If not, I would not be messing around with trying to get wins and make it to the playoffs. I will want to get the highest pick possible. So when we're evaluating, we can put ourselves in a position to get that guy.
Yeah, there's a couple. I mean, there's a lot of counter arguments, right? But you want to bring up Lamar Jackson. Let's look at the very next year. We got Kyler Murray going number 1, and then Daniel Jones, Dwayne Haskins, Drew Lock, Will Grier, Ryan Finley, Jared Stidham, Easton Stick, Clayton Thorson, Gardner Minshew, Trace McSorley. Which one of those guys do you want?
You don't like Gardner? Everybody likes Gardner.
No. So if you weren't picking number 1 in that year, how'd you do a quarterback? You did pretty bad, right? Yeah. And then fast forward a couple of years to 2021. And this is also what happens when you fall down further in the draft, and you're looking for your quarterback later. You start looking at their flaws, and you start looking at the other players available, because Carolina was picking 8th.
They right? Said, who, and who?
Carolina was picking 8th, and there was a guy there by the name of Justin Fields, who I was banging the table for, saying, take Justin Fields. He's the guy. He's your quarterback. You have to take the quarterback. And they said, man, do we want the 3rd or 4th best quarterback, or do we want the number 1 corner on our board? And they took the corner. And guess what? Now you still need a quarterback. So no, I don't want to hear, hey, you can get lucky later. I don't give a damn if you get lucky later. Go and get your quarterback. You know why? Because the alternative is not, we're going to make a run to the Super Bowl. This team's going to get embarrassed in their first home game if they win that division. They're out in 1 round. They can't beat any of these teams. So for what? For what? Yeah. Win more games for what? Because it's not just the first round either. When you win those games and you win that division, you drop way down in the draft, but you drop way down in every round. So it's not just taking you out of the running for the top quarterback. You're taking yourself out of the running for the guy you wanted in the 2nd round, the guy you wanted in the 3rd round, the guy you wanted in the 4th round. Now, they don't have all their picks, but that's not the point. The point is you're going to be dropping down in every single round of the draft, not just the first round. So
yes. Now, speaking of luck, one session says, hold on, Brodny. Tariq Woolen was drafted in the 5th round. Problem is, Ravens are bad at drafting with EDC at the helm. Well, yes, they are bad at drafting, but when you get somebody that good that late, that's luck.
Yeah, that's not being good at drafting. That's luck.
Not saying that they didn't do a great job scouting, right? But when you're scouting, you see somebody saying, "Oh yeah, this person might drop a little bit. We can get them in this round." Usually, those players that you're scouting that you think might be sleepers, other teams are scouting as well, and they get picked up, right? You get lucky when you get somebody that good that late. Right?
Yeah, because those are guys who have flaws, and you're banking on them being able to overcome those flaws, or those flaws not really matter, not factoring into what you need them to do. The prospect, like, it's not debatable, man. The prospects that you get in the first round are better than the prospects that you get in every other round. That's not debatable.
Yeah. Yeah. So look, and here's the thing too. I get it. Because as a fan, as a consumer, you don't want to see a bad product. You don't want to see bad football. And if your team in general has a chance to make the playoffs, you just want to see them just go to the playoffs, right? You want to see that, right? I get that. But you have to think long term, because what ends up happening is you want that instant satisfaction, right? That's fast food. You want that instant gratification, right? But there's no meaningful calories there, right? And then what happens is we get to the draft, and you see guys get drafted, and draft, everybody's hopes are up. Doesn't matter where you pick, everybody's hopes are up. Mm-hmm. And then when the games start getting played, and you start looking at some of these other guys, you're like, damn, man, we gotta get somebody like that. Man, imagine if we had that guy, right? And then what happens is you start lying to yourself. You say, well, this guy is just as good as that guy.
Yeah.
Right. Especially if the following year you're still not picking at the top, and whoever you draft, oh, he can be so-and-so light. Right. Right. We do that a lot. We do that a lot here. Like, and that's a coping mechanism, because we missed out on the opportunity to get somebody that high, or we're not going to be able to pick the high, particularly the Ravens. We don't usually pick high. So we're not going to be able to get a Chase Young, right? So we say, I mean, Owe, right? Yeah. Like he look at his athletic profile. He'll be just as good. He will never. And Chase Young has been banged up, right? He will never be as good as Chase Young.
No.
Right. Shout out to Tanja. Thanks for coming through. Says, hey, Jose and Brodny and all the flock. Hey, appreciate you. Thank you.
But I think Panthers fans look at it this way because they've done this before and didn't get burned. Mm-hmm. In 2019, they were picking 9th, and then now this wasn't even Carolina's fault really, but in the last game they played New Orleans, and I mean New Orleans just wanted it more than they did. New Orleans tanked harder than I've ever seen any team tank in the last week of the season, and Carolina won the game, and they went from 9th to 16th. Now, in that particular draft, it didn't hurt them. They ended up getting Brian Burns, and there weren't any like great players they missed out on in between. So it was fine. But we're not looking for a pretty good edge rusher right now. We're looking for the guy who's going to lead the franchise for the next decade plus.
Yeah. And when you're looking at it that way, it can't be just anybody, right? It can't be, well, you can get to the quarterback, with anybody. You can, but the rest of your team has to be well built. It's extremely hard.
And the other part of it is too, you can look at the Ravens and say, hey, look at them. They got Lamar at 32, and that's fine. That sounds great, right? But why aren't you telling the story about, hey, maybe the Browns were trying to get him at 33, or the Colts at 36? So one of the teams who didn't, they're like, oh, Lamar's falling to us, and then he doesn't. Right?
Yeah.
Because when you fall down in the draft, you can't control what happens in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, great discussion. I like having that discussion. I like to see where people's heads are at with that. So I'm assuming you're picking the Panthers to win this, right?
Oh, no, they're not going to beat Seattle. Listen. Sam Darnold, I thought he played pretty well.
Yeah.
Pretty decently against Denver. And I do like to, people think I hate Sam. I don't hate Sam Darnold. I just don't want to be the quarterback of my team. But I think he looks like he's bouncing back a little bit from what he experienced last year. But they're just not a good team. Like they're not. And Seattle is playing for the playoffs for real. Geno is playing really well. Now, if Kenneth Walker is out, then that might, that's going to be difficult for them to overcome. But I don't know if he's going to be playing or not. I just don't see Carolina being able to really hang with them for 4 quarters if Kenneth Walker is in. God damn it, Hendo.
All right. Okay. All right. So we both think the Seahawks will win. That's a little preview of what's coming next, because we got to speed this up. We're getting to an hour and a half. This is hashtag no 2 hours. Just for the new people that are here, so this is not supposed to be a hour and a half stream. It's supposed to be about an hour and 15 minutes. You should already be seeing the credits. But you guys have been showing us a lot of support. We appreciate it, right?
I don't think that we have the schedule here. So let me go ahead.
I do. No, I put it on there. I put it on there. But before we put that up, a word from our sponsors. ourselves. Okay, if you want to support this channel, you want to support this show a little bit further, more than you have tonight, and we really appreciate it. Right below us, patreon.com/ right below me, actually, patreon.com/LBHT Show is where you can go and support the channel even further. Okay, we have a few tiers here, right? First, I'm going to preface this by saying, how many guys, order Grubhub and DoorDash and all these places, right? You don't want to go out and battle the elements, and you want the food delivered to you, right? You just got home from work, you don't want to feel like going back out, little Grubhub, right? Save your money. Save that $20 delivery fee this time. Okay. Save that, and you'll have more than enough, right, to get the best investment. I just talked about empty calories earlier. Okay. This patreon.com/LBHT Show. That's nurturing right there.
I wanna like battle back against these lies you're telling about Grubhub, but they don't sponsor us, so I'm not going to. But just know that's like they're not. That's not real. That's not
there are competitors right now. Okay. There are competitors. They are holding our money. All right. So yes, B, tell them about the tiers real quick.
Yes, we have the $3 tier, which is kind of a general support tier, and it also gets you into the NFL Pick'em League that we do every season, where we give a custom LBHT trophy. Unless Mike or Hendo wins it, then we're not going to be getting the trophy this year. I still have to kind of source that and figure out what we're doing with that. But then we have the $10 tier, which gets you the LBHT Crew coin that Jose has right there. And that also gets you into our fantasy football league that we do. We have a dynasty league, which is playing for the LCFL championship belt that you see right here. We mail that out to the winner of the league every season. And then we also have a redraft league that we're doing for fun. If there's enough interest, we'll start up a second dynasty league as well. Then we have the $20 tier, which is a combined tier for this channel and our boxing podcast that we do with OTR Mike, Ring Kings podcast, where you get the custom poker deck featuring our top 25 boxers of all time, plus everything else that I mentioned. And all the tiers get you into the overtime show that we do every week, and also entrance into our Discord server, which you want to enter in so you can keep the conversations going once your other social media sites, like, I don't know, Twitter, go belly up. Or either belly up, or they just get overrun by a certain type of people.
Also, if you like what we're wearing, you're saying, Jose, I like what you're wearing here. What is that? I just want to say, right, the blue screen effect that I have going on right now takes out the color right here, but this is what you're seeing on my chest right here. Okay, that is Baltimore City. Okay, that is our Raven City edition t-shirt. Okay, that's what I have right there. So if you like that, that's some of the merch that we sell. Also, this guy right here, look how cool this guy looks. Look how awesome he looks, right? Look at that Panther ripping through his chest. Look
at how sad he looks that somebody made him wear Panthers gear.
Listen, look, he's looking sad because he's our unpaid model. Okay,
he's looking sad because he had to give the shirt back at the end.
Yeah. He's just like, I can't keep it. What? Sorry, man. You gotta bring that back. But you can buy one, okay? And yes. you might be able to get one before that guy actually gets his own. Okay, right here, LBHTShow.com/shop is where you can find this dope merch. Right, you see that couple in the corner rocking the Ring Kings apparel. The Ring Kings is for our other podcast. If you are a boxing fan, Ring Kings podcast, go over there and subscribe. Also, wherever you listen to podcasts. All right, go check out that. We do that with our friend OTR Mike. All right, speaking of OTR Mike has his own podcast, Open Mic with OTR Mike. Okay, his latest episode is discussing Deion Sanders' departure from Jackson State University, taking the new job at Colorado. He gives some strong opinions about that. He backs it up with some facts. It is a great conversation, and my man Mike, he's well-rounded. He talks about all kinds of different topics. So excellent follow. So make sure you go over there and subscribe. Also, our guy Hendo, Ravens Online Gatekeepers. All right, make sure you go over there. Another dope Ravens YouTuber and content creator. Make sure you go over there and subscribe. I don't have Coach Evans' logo. I'm gonna have to get that up on here. But Sip2 Tally Films. Make sure you subscribe to Sip2 Tally Films. That's where you can find all of us. Everybody I just put up on the screen, as well as Chris from Deep Cover Podcast every Monday for the Ravens Roundtable. All right. Great conversation. Great times. We have a lot of fun. All right.
Yes.
Okay. Now back to the show. All right. Rapid fire. Let's go. Mikey didn't show up this time. I thought Mikey will pop in here for rapid fire, but that's all right. Look. We're an hour and 35 minutes in. Let's get this done in 5 minutes. Now, look, for the new people in here, okay, we call it rapid fire. It is kind of a joke because we never get through this fast, okay? But we're going to try to speed it up this time. If you want to follow along, make your picks quick. Type fast. Type fast. All right? Here we go. B, week 14. Let's go.
Well, I thought you put you don't. It's not in here. That's what I was telling you.
Yeah, it's in here.
No, it's not.
Did you delete it? Oh,
no, I didn't delete it.
I think you deleted it. I saw you.
When you said you had it, I thought you meant you were going to be sharing the screen. But it's all right. So it's already.
I got it.
It's not even going to be 5 minutes. All right.
No, I got it. I got it right here.
Okay.
No worries. No worries. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go.
All right. The LA Raiders at the Las Vegas Raiders, not LA, at the LA Rams Thursday night. This one, I don't know. I mean, they just picked up Baker. I doubt he's going to be playing. I think they're probably going to be going with Bryce Perkins. That's not great. I'm going to take the Raiders.
Yeah, I got the Raiders. John Hazeb Ali, he says the Rams. Agent E says the Rams. Okay. All right. Okay. We got some brave ones in here.
All right, moving on to Sunday, we've got the New York Jets at the Buffalo Bills, a huge divisional matchup right there. And Mike effing White has taken over. He's taken over the reins. Josh Allen might still be a little bit banged up. They just lost Von Miller for the rest of the season, or they just found out it's for the rest of the season. I'm going with the Jets.
The chat seems split on this. I'm going to go to Jets as well. They should have won last week. They get it done this week.
Cleveland at Cincinnati. Deshaun Watson was pretty bad in his debut. They got no points from the offense, but they still ended up winning. I don't think it's going to work that way again. I think Cincinnati gets the win.
Cincinnati. Joe Burr has never defeated Cleveland. And he won't this time either. I'm going to Browns.
Wow.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, Houston at Dallas. I don't really want to. They're going back to Davis Mills. Shout out to Davis, but it's going to be Dallas.
Yeah, Houston really wants it. They're locking up that number one spot.
They really are. That's what it looks like. Carolina. Pay attention. Minnesota at Detroit. Detroit's been playing well as of late. I don't think they're playing well enough to stop that Viking. I don't want to say train. They're Vikings, so the longboat, I guess. Going with Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota.
We got Jacksonville Jaguars at the Tennessee Titans, who just fired their GM. Sign of everything's going well over there. Going to take Jacksonville in the upset.
Oh, I'm going Titans.
Philly at the Giants. The shine is off of the Giants a little bit. They've lost, I believe, 3 of their last 5 with a tie in there as well. I'm taking Philly to keep the slide going for New York.
Yeah, Philly big.
Baltimore at Pittsburgh. We already talked about this. I'm taking Pittsburgh in this one. I think it's going to be a pretty low-scoring game. I'm going to say 17-9.
Oh, yeah. I definitely see a battle of the field goals going on here. I'm going to say 15-6.
Yuck.
Pittsburgh, by the way. Pittsburgh. I got Pittsburgh.
If it's trending that way, I will not be watching that entire game. Kansas City at Denver. Nobody's riding with Denver anymore. It's Kansas City all the way.
I can't even fix my face to lie about this. It's Kansas City.
Tampa Bay at San Francisco. San Francisco just found out as well that they're losing Jimmy Garoppolo for a significant amount of time. They say he may be back if they make a playoff run, but doesn't really matter. They're playing Tampa Bay. I'm taking San Francisco.
Yeah, San Francisco.
Carolina at Seattle. We talked about this already. I'm taking Seattle. I'm going to say 24-17 Seahawks.
You think it's going to be close?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say 27-10 Seahawks.
Wow. Okay. Disrespectful. Miami at the
I'll
LA
say this.
Chargers.
If the Panthers win this, I will never pick against them the rest of the season.
No. You can't do that. They're not gonna. No. Miami at the LA Chargers. The Chargers. I mean, they can't get themselves right. I saw a stat that Justin Herbert, since coming into the league, he's lost the second most games of any starting quarterback. I'm gonna take Miami in this one on the road.
I got Miami, and we're going to have a serious conversation about Justin Herbert.
About rescuing Justin Herbert. Monday night, New England and Arizona. Jesus, not watching that one. Mac Jones has looked really bad. The Patriots not looking great overall, but it's also Arizona, right? I am going to say that Mac gets it done this week.
I'm going Arizona.
New England over Arizona.
I got Arizona. I don't feel good either way.
No, I don't feel good either.
You can't be having these bad, like, this was never going to look good. Like, even at the beginning of the season, like, why'd you schedule this late in the season?
Right.
Hashtag Dirty Mac.
Yes.
All right, we did it. That's not bad. Great job.
What do you mean, ouch, Brandon? Your team sucks. You know that. Don't put that on us.
He said Bird Gang. Hey, you
Bird
got
Gang, nothing. No, you don't. They tell you do. No, you don't.
Okay, look. Bonus time. Fire it up. We're going to go real quick. Whatever you guys want to talk about, put it in the comments. We'll read a few comments, and then after that, we are going to get this overtime show started. I didn't even load up the teaser, but we're going to be discussing tonight. What are we talking about? We're talking about a little gambling scandal, little betting scandal in the UFC. Okay, everybody loves a scandal. Okay, So we talk about that. We're going to talk about the college football playoffs. Right, it's getting ready to start, and pretty soon it's going to turn into a real playoffs, because what they have now is not a real playoffs. It's going to turn into a real one. A lot of traditionalists do not like the true playoff form. We're going to discuss that, get the panel's opinion on how they feel about 12-team playoffs in college, and how it's going to look, how it should look, because we got some opinions on that. So that'll be a good conversation. And AI art, yay or nay? Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing? Okay, artificial intelligence, computers drawing their own art. Okay,
and in case you haven't heard or seen this on Twitter, here's an example. This is what you do is you go in and you put in just a prompt, and then it generates art for you. And so there's some people put in the Avengers in the style of Wes Anderson, and that's what you get. This is just done by an AI, program. It just spits it right out. It's not perfect. Obviously, you can check out her eyes on the right there. Their hands are all messed up, but this is just the beginning of the tech.
Yeah. So is this going to put real artists out of business? We'll discuss on the Overtime Show. All right. And you can be part of the Overtime Show by going to patreon.com/LBHT Show. All right. If you got $3 in your pocket, if you were thinking about adding that 20% tip on your Grubhub, knock it down to 15%. They still getting a tip, right? I'm sorry.
Wow.
Drivers. I'm sorry. Listen.
My goodness.
Listen. I
stomping all over the little guy over there.
I stand in solidarity, with the drivers out there. Okay. Salute to you guys. You don't get paid enough. But listen, man, it's a cold world out there. Okay.
Listen, if there are any Grubhub or DoorDash drivers in West Virginia watching right now, just know that I always tip at least 20%.
When you're there.
What do you? What? No. I always tip at least 20%.
No, when they're there. When they sometimes you don't get your food.
Listen. We're not talking about that right now. All right. That was one dude that ate my sandwich. Okay. So screw that guy, by the way.
In his defense, he was hungry.
Yeah, it was right at the height of the Popeyes chicken sandwich craze, and he was just like, "Oh, that sounds good."
All right, look.
But whatever. It's neither here nor there.
let's read some of these comments here. JP says, when is the 33rd? Go ahead. Read that one.
What's going on with this is not even the one I was trying to click on. What's going on with the DCEU? Wonder Woman 3 canceled. Everybody saying Black Adam didn't live up to expectations. Should they stop trying? I don't know who had expectations for Black Adam.
Listen, I'm a Rock fan. I had zero expectations for
his. No, to be a Rock movie.
Yes. I expect it to be high on action and not necessarily a high quality film per se, but entertaining, right? So I don't know. Like, I haven't watched it yet, but I expected it, like you said, to be a Rock movie. And if you go with those expectations, you can never be disappointed.
That's right. And you're looking at JP here. When is the 30 for 30 on that double reverse wide receiver pass? Prochet was the star of going to drop. The worst play call, man. Like, why? He's never done it.
Prochet catching the hard, man. He got put in a tough situation right there. All right. Of course, he's going to throw the ball no matter what. He doesn't get opportunities. Right. And look, for the Prochet truthers out there that say he doesn't get opportunities, I mean, look, you know what we say, opportunities are earned. But yeah, when you get somebody that doesn't get a lot of playing time and he's trying to make plays, he's going to try to make plays. He's not going to do the safe thing there, because all you're going to do is trot him off the field, and he's going to remember that, right? But if somebody would have come down with that pass, he threw a touchdown pass. You remember that, right? You remember for the interception now, but at least you remember him. One session says, do you think Bisciotti will ever fire Harbaugh? Yes, I think he will. I think Bisciotti is very comfortable with how Harbaugh is running the organization and keeping the negativity from his doorstep. Look, every owner is happy until they're not happy, right? And when they see their bottom line in danger of dipping, anybody can go. And he was very vocal about wanting to fire Harbaugh before. So yeah, I think the end is near. Even if Lamar stays, I think the end is near for him. I don't think he's going to stay for much longer. Harbaugh may not want to stay for much longer, to be honest. Right. So I mean, I think he's worn out his stay here, and I don't see him on team much longer. The real question is EDC going to last? I think EDC. I think he's been given a longer grace period because he's shown the loyalty over the years, because he could have left the Ravens organization a long time ago. Many times. So he's going to get a few more chances just based off of that. But I don't think it's going to be that many more. And if they lose Lamar, that's, that good grace is going to go out the window.
Yeah.
All right. And they want to say, wow, we aren't getting that Grubhub sponsorship. I know we mentioned them way too many times. I'm so sorry. We do not like to. I don't even like to hold up bottles with other brand names on it. Okay, our brand. That's why you see the lunch break hot take. This is vintage, by the way. You can't get this on the store anymore. But we have the new logo. This is the old logo, in case you were wondering. Okay, but everything that you see us wearing, drinking out of our cups, that's we can find on our shop. Liver Legend says no tip over $4. Okay, there you go. Notice that Jose said no tips for you. I didn't say no tips.
My goodness,
I didn't say no tips. Okay, open your ears. I said move it from 20% to 15%. Okay, that's all I said. Or go get it yourself. All right, save that money and spend it over here. Okay. I spend it over here. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What's up, King?
No Ravens wide receiver with over 400 yards yet. Fire EDC. Yeah, pretty much.
So just for comparison's sake, man, Tyreek Hill, a guy who a lot of Ravens fans, a lot of the gatekeepers out there, a lot of the super fans, the Ravens super fans, this isn't Team Lamar, this is the Ravens, right? A lot of those people were saying that Tyreek Hill is not worth it. He wasn't worth the picks. He wasn't worth the money. Tyreek Hill is on pace for 3,000 yards. He's got over 1,200 yards now, right?
Yeah.
So 1,200 yards. He has more yards than Prochet, Talon Wallace, Devin Duvernay combined for their careers.
Mm-hmm.
He has that right now. Don't tell me he's not worth it.
And Bateman,
right? I'm not sure what Bateman has this year. It could be.
Yeah.
Because he had 500 yards last year, I believe.
Right.
Yeah. It's close. And by the end of the season, yes, he will.
Right.
He will have had more than all of our wide receivers combined for their careers. If we ran out in one wide receiver set and it was just Tyreek Hill, I would be fine with that. Justin Phillips, he said 1,378 yards. Thank you, Justin Phillips.
Wow.
Vet Tech Audio, thanks for coming through. Says Ravens have drafted 7 skill position players since LJ been the starter. That's the most in the NFL. People can't say they didn't try. That's on the philosophy. That is nonsense. Like this is a results league. I don't care how many they drafted. First of all, how many they drafted in the first round? Right? Like let's look at that stat. How many of those skill positions were drafted past the third round? Let's be real about that. Okay, so I don't care. 7 skill positions. So what? Are they good?
That's the thing. Like, yeah, okay, you can say that they tried. They failed.
Yeah.
So you have to keep doing it. It's not okay, well, we're not asking you to invest picks in wide receiver. That's not what anybody's asking for. They're asking for you to get good wide receivers. Those are two different things. Carolina used to, the Panthers used to say the same thing. Oh, they drafted Kelvin Benjamin. They drafted Devin Funchess. They drafted Curtis Samuel. Like, the guys didn't really work out, and it doesn't matter how many of the guys you draft. It's how many of them actually produce.
So I get what you're saying, right? It's a philosophy thing, right? Okay, what's the philosophy? Right? Let me ask you that. What's their philosophy? Is it, hey, this isn't a wide receiver friendly offense. We run the ball. Okay, so how come they don't have a top running back on this team?
Well, it's not the philosophy anyway. I mean, you just had Hollywood go over 1,000 yards last year.
Well, no, but this is the narrative that people say out there, and I know where you get that from, right? I'm on Twitter. I see where that narrative is spun. But okay, no matter what it is, no matter what the philosophy is, how come we don't have one of the best O-lines in the league like Coach said, our O-line doesn't bully the other D-line. They don't ever get a push to open up holes for these running backs. So we don't have a top O-line. We don't have top running backs, right? We don't have a top defense. And
by the way, it's not because of injury. You didn't have top running backs before the injuries either.
No. So what are they doing? So you're drafting all these wide receivers. Okay, great. Just to say we drafted these wide receivers. So none of them are working out. So if you're doing all that and you're trying to fix that position, what's the next thing you should do? Right? If you're a good front office, you're saying we're trying and we keep missing. What's the next logical step? Let's go get a sure thing. Since we're bad at drafting this position, we can't develop this position. Let's go and get guys that we know can play. That's what they should be doing, and they're not doing that. All right, what else we got here? A couple more, and let's get up out of here. Oh, we are so close to 2 hours. We cannot let this happen, B. No. Our good friend Andrew Sakura is here. What's going on? He said those people need to have the make it enough mindset towards the organization getting playmakers. Absolutely, because it is not our money. That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right. One session says the Ravens are bad at trying, responding to Vet Tech Audio. And thank you for coming through, Vet Tech Audio. I haven't seen you here before. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. He said, if a QB throws an interception, do you think the QB tried to throw the interception or tried to complete it to the teammate? Yeah. Good intentions for sure. But we got to get results. And see Iron Addicts in the house. What's going on? Appreciate you coming through. Mr. Rose says mediocre at drafting and cheap at spending. We're not mediocre at drafting. We're bad at drafting.
Yeah.
What's the good draft that we've had under EDC? I'm curious. I haven't seen it yet. He sucks. I wouldn't have said at the beginning of the season, right? I'll still give him a chance. But looking at this draft class now, he sucks. He's not good. And we got a $5 donation from C Iron Addict. Appreciate it. Says we invested on a defense. Let him suffer. Yeah. We invested on a defense. and the defense isn't living up to expectations. You know, they're playing a little bit better because we got Roquan Smith, but they're not living up to expectations. They need to do more. Mr. J said the next step is them being fired in his Trump voice. Yes. A guy Rock says everybody keeps saying wait on Stanley, JK, and Gus. They want top tier second contract without Lamar. Defense tackles better. It needs to tackle better. Yeah. It's always an excuse. Can't have that, right? You just can't have that. And that's another thing. Our players keep getting injured. That's beyond bad luck. That's not bad luck. That's the training staff that should have been fired a long time ago. Strength and conditioning coach that should have been fired after he got everybody sick over here, right? Mm-hmm. And Harbaugh just being loyal to a fault, right? At the end of the day, it's Harbaugh that's the problem. Maybe some of these guys could have had better careers or be working out a little bit better under better coaching. But you have a poor coaching staff, and you have to mitigate poor coaching with overwhelming talent, right? There are guys that can overcome this poor coaching. Yeah, go get them. Yeah, DeAndre Thomas says Kyle Hamilton looks great in his opinion. Yeah, he looks good. What difference does he make?
Yeah, he's again, like we always say with Baltimore, good player, bad pick.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, all right. We're getting out of here because we're 4 minutes away from hashtag 2 hours, and this is a hashtag no 2 hour show. Appreciate everybody coming through. Still 96 people in here to the end. Clap it up, man. What a stream. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody that's donated. Okay. Thank you for everybody that's been hanging out with us to damn near 2 hours. If you want to keep the party going, okay, go over to patreon.com/LBHT Show. We're going to get overtime started real soon. All right. Hannah said, might as well keep going. We are going to keep going on the overtime show.
That's right.
Yes, indeed. So, look, we're going to get out of here. Patrons, give us a couple minutes. We're going to get overtime started. B, are you ready?
Well, one more thing. If you're not a patron and you won't be joining the overtime show, head over to Let's Get Ready, the highlights. It's a brand new sports channel. They kind of broke away from Let's Get Ready Network. They're doing their own thing. They got an entertainment network and a sports network. So go over to Let's Get Ready, the highlights. They're doing a live stream right now, recapping the round of 16 from the World Cup.
All right. And shout out to Tech Webby for subscribing. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right. Okay. Now, are you ready?
I'm ready.
He is ready. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Have a good night. Have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next time. Peace out.